Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. And we're continuing our survey of leftover Mendelssohn leftovers. Oh my goodness, no, it's just things that got migrated from the upstairs to the downstairs. And there's quite a bit of it because, as I mentioned a few videos ago, I wrote a book about Mendelssohn. I think it's a very good book about Mendelssohn, but and whether it's available or not now is anybody's guess. I'm trying to figure that out. It's really annoying dealing with publishers and whatnot. Anyway, but we're going through this stuff and there's plenty of it. Oh my goodness, because I discovered so much wonderful music. Here's today's clump. There it is. We're at video number 4, if I'm not mistaken, right? And oh, wow, yes, I think so. And there's 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, there's going to be about probably 10 or 12 of them by the time we're done. Actually, let me put it over here so that I can take these things in order. And let's go through it. Oh, look, a référence. We have Guido Cantelli doing Mendelssohn's splendid Italian symphony splendidly with the Schubert unfinished, no, not Schumann's fourth, pardon me. And yes, the Schubert unfinished. They're all here on this EMI Classics Référence CD, which no longer exists, but there's a Guido Cantelli box that has all the same stuff in it. So, hey, that's wonderful. Look, it's Guido Cantelli conducting Rossini, Mendelssohn, and Beethoven. Well, it's the same performance that was in that reference disc, but now it has moved. It's migrated. No, it was moved to Testament. And you've also got, this time, the Mendelssohn's coupled with Beethoven's fifth. Only, not all of it. The first movement is missing. They never caught that. That was unpublished. And the Rossini overture to La Gazza Ladra. So that was all previously unpublished, but the Mendelssohn Italian Symphony is a known quantity because we just knew it from the previous quantity. And this is Leonid Kogan doing Mendelssohn Violin Concerto with Constantin Silvestri conducting. Oh, this is wonderful. With the Orchestre de la Société des Concerts du Conservatoire de Paris, the Paris Conservatory Orchestra. And the Lalo Symphony Espagnole with Kondrashin and the Philharmonia. Oh my goodness, this is such a great record. I haven't heard it in years. There's a Kogan box out there somewhere too. Oh, this is lovely. Absolutely lovely. You get the complete Symphony Espagnole. I hate that piece. But the Mendelssohn's marvelous. And so is the Symphony Espagnole, to be honest. It's a very, very good performance. It's just the piece that's dreck. Anyway. Mendelssohn Piano Concertos 1 and 2, and the Capriccio Brillante, and the Rondo Brillante, and the Serenade and Allegro Giocoso, which is practically unknown, and it's lovely. It's Opus 43, with Stephen Huff, Lawrence Foster, the City of Birmingham Symphony. This is part of the Romantic Piano Concerto Series, Volume 17, from way back at the beginning of what's now like an 80 or 90 disc extravaganza. But these were very, very fine performances, and so they remain. And then we've got like a clump of things here. All right, these are all of the early string symphonies with the Gewandhaus and Court Mazur on Berlin Classics. Now, all of Mazur's Mendelssohn, including the regular symphonies, the normal ones, were all boxed up with these and issued cheap. So we have them all. But I happen to have these earlier ones separately, and so I kept them separately. Now, the Mendelssohn string symphonies are one of the most extraordinary groups of works. And they really are. It's amazing. There's 13 of them, all things considered, I think. How many have we got here? That's 6, and that's 8 and 8. You get both versions of 8, 12, and then there's a single movement, so that makes 13, yeah, all told. And the 8th exists in 2 versions, one for just strings and one for full orchestra. So it's actually a seriously major Mendelssohn regular symphony, but nobody knows it. They are incredible works. They're works in which Mendelssohn figured out how he wanted to write symphonies, starting with the model of C.P.E. Bach and his Hamburg symphonies, and working through the classical period up until Mendelssohn's maturity, when he was all ready to rock with his first symphony. It really is. It's amazing. I mean, he was like 3 or something when he started writing them. But the point is, he was essentially in his teens, and he's just each one is a progressive growth and outcome of the previous one. And so they are. I don't know how to describe it. Usually it takes a composer like a whole lifetime. You have like Haydn started out with his first and wound up with the Symphony 107, 40 years later or whatever it was. Well, Mendelssohn did it all in like 40 minutes. But you see this unbelievable growth through each symphony because it's all self-willed. He said, okay, I did this, now I'm going to do this. Each one masters some other aspect of symphonic writing, and wow, I mean, they're just really nifty and wonderful to get to know. I mean, they're 3-movement early ones, 4-movement later ones. Some of them include timpani and some percussion. Some Swiss folk tunes get tossed in here and there. I mean, there's just an incredible variety from one to the next, and they are beautiful works, really beautiful works. I mean, precocious, forget it. I mean, they define precociosity or whatever that word is. But wow, yeah. I mean, getting to know those was like a real discovery, and it would be for you too. Trust me, you will really enjoy them. Then we've got, concertos for 2 pianos. With Benjamin Frith, who did a ton of Mendelssohn for Naxos, piano works, piano concertos, and Hugh Tinney is on the other piano with the RTE Sinfonietta under, oh yes, somebody in some Gaelicish type language here. Proincias O'Duin. Yeah, okay, fine. Here, there's his name. You can pronounce it properly yourself. I'm not going to even try. These are big, ebullient, rich, sort of loose serenade-like concerti, and they are just lovely and fun to listen to. Big pieces. 40 some odd minutes for the A-flat major one, excuse me. Pardon me. And oh wow, they're just really cool. You should hear them. Definitely. Those are good performances. And here we have the concerto for violin and piano. It's a double concerto. And the D minor violin concerto. That's not the famous one, which is an E minor. It's an earlier one. These are for soloists and string orchestra. And they are lovely works. Again, they're early Mendelssohn. But early Mendelssohn is like early Mozart. I mean, it's better than early Mozart, to be honest with you. He gets more done than early Mozart did. I mean, because the style is... the whole style of music was a little bit different in those days by the time Mendelssohn got his hands on it. But the double concerto for violin and piano and string orchestra is just terrific. We've got Martha Argerich and Gideon Kramer with the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra. I mean, what could be better than that, huh? Really? You think? And also the violin concerto in D minor with Gideon Kramer is just wonderful. And by the way, this is the second revised version. I mean, Mendelssohn even revised it. So it mattered. He cared enough. And, and he had plenty of time because he was incredibly rich. But, his parents made him, and all the kids, his sister get up at 5 a.m., do their gymnastics and then go to school. I mean, they had a very regimented life. It was really kind of astonishing. And this is the result. I mean, he was a young genius, and here is one of the first fruits of that genius. In a wonderful performance. So there you have it, like a bunch of really interesting Mendelssohn stuff. Do you see how fascinating he's turning out to be? I mean, really, you look at this and people don't know it because they haven't taken the time. Other than the few really popular works that everybody knows, like the Italian Symphony or whatnot. But there's a world here and a history that's really exceptional. So give it a shot. You won't be sorry. Keep on listening, friends. Thanks so much for joining me, and take care.